I am making the executive decision for myself to put my Scrivener aside and just use OpusWriter. Hey guys, Holly J here, aka Planet Ginger, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Today we are doing another writing video, and it is such a nice day out. I need to soak up as much sun as I can before fall comes around. So we're gonna film this video outside. I am so excited for this video today because if you have watched one of my recent writing videos where I talk about the 5 softwares that I use to write my novel, let me just tell you, that video, null and void now because of this new writing software that I have discovered called OpusWriter. I did get this writing platform for free, but these are all my honest, real opinions about the writing software. Thank you so much to Wesley for reaching out to me and providing me a free copy of OpusWriter to review. I am so glad you did that because you have literally been a godsend and you have answered all of my prayers for a writing platform, and I could not be happier with what I'm seeing here. We will talk about how you guys can get that in a little bit, so let's just get into it. I'm just gonna put my sunglasses on because I am squinting into the sun. So just as a little background story, if you haven't watched my 5 writing softwares that I use, Scrivener was one of them, which used to be the writing platform that I mainly used for manuscript purposes. I used Notion for some like plotting stuff. I also used Scrivener's other sister platform, which was called Scapple. That was also a plotting platform. And then I also mentioned, I think, YouTube in the video, and I can't remember what else I mentioned. You'll have to watch the video. But the main thing to talk about from that video, the main takeaway is I used to use Scrivener and a bunch of other platforms, all for the same reason, for plotting, manuscript writing, and just like keeping my story together. I had multiple different platforms that I was using for multiple different things. Then Wesley reached out and now I use OpusWriter for most everything. So this is the main page of OpusWriter. When you log in, this is literally just going to be where you write your manuscript. Over here, I'll just show you, create first chapter. It's going to show you chapter 1 over here underneath manuscript. And literally, it's that simple. You are going to have your chapters running down here. This middle section is literally going to be where you actually write your manuscript. If you want to add another chapter, you literally just press the plus on the side. You can add folders if you'd like to put all of your chapters into folders. Over on the side here, we have notes about the chapter. So this is going to stick with the chapter. So if I write a note for chapter 2 here, you go to chapter 1, that note is not there, but then you go back to chapter 2, it is there. So it's stuck on the actual chapter itself, which I always enjoy. I'm still kind of learning things about this, so I don't really know what the quick note is for. Oh, select text. So that's like text specific notes, maybe? I don't know. I don't really use that yet, but like I said, I'm still kind of discovering all the things I can do with OpusWriter. You also can connect chapters to parts of an outline, which outline I'm gonna get to in just a minute here. And sorry if you can hear that hawk squealing. I think he's going after, I don't know, rats or something over there, or rabbits. Hopefully rabbits. Sorry, that was probably a bit morbid, but we have so many rabbits around here right now and they need to be cleaned up a little bit. Okay, anyways, you can connect the actual chapter or manuscript to a part of the outline that you've already put in. Like I said, we'll talk about that in a minute. You can have a change log. This is gonna be really helpful for like when I'm actually done with my first draft and I'm trying to keep track of changes that need to be made. So if you want to change, like, let's say where the character goes from one location to another, well, you can put that change in there. You can say doesn't go here, goes there. That change will be in effect. So when you go through each chapter, there's like a check off to make sure that you actually have accommodated that change in the previous chapters of your manuscript, which, like I said, is going to be so helpful. Wiki, I think this is more, yeah, your series Bible starts here. This is more for like world building and stuff. It's for you to keep track of all of that, history, lore, etc., etc. Again, I haven't really done too much with this yet, so I don't really have much to say about it. The thing that I appreciate already about OpusWriter versus Scrivener is all the connections that you can make. Like, you can actually pull in your outline to connect straight to your manuscript, and I just never found an easy way of doing anything like that in Scrivener, hence why I had to use all these other platforms. Already we're off to a great start here. So this is just in the writing section. So if you look down below here, there's a planning section, a writing section, an editing section, section, publishing section, and a manage section. This manage section is really cool, and that's where I think we're gonna go next before we dive into the other things. In manage, this is like managing for like series. If you're doing a series, you can already dictate how many books that you want in the series. You can add a little cover photo to the series just for like inspiration purposes. There's a series vault here where you can keep track of characters in your series, so you're not like making all these different platforms and other spreadsheets and all this stuff trying to keep track of all your characters. This is just really nice. Series wiki. This is like, again, the Bible for your series. What I was talking about earlier with the connecting points on the side, that was more so for like that specific manuscript, but you can actually make a series portion of it that carries over from book to book so you don't forget anything going on in your series, which is really nice. So series search here, again, I haven't even gotten a chance to utilize all of this because I'm not at that point in my novel yet, but I mean, this is gonna all just be so helpful. Series continuity, and that's gonna be great. This actually does bring up too, because I know that this is a really big conversation right now, and this was important to me as well, but the use of AI in this platform. AI does not help with the writing of anything in this platform. I think that there is an option for AI use in the editing stage, but there is a disclaimer immediately in the platform when you log in that you can decide if you want to toggle that on or off. Wesley himself, I believe, is a writer, so he knows he knows all the controversies about AI and writing right now. I'm really glad that he made the use of AI in his program very clear. Anywho, I know that that's an important topic for a lot of writers, so I did want to just make that disclaimer. This whole section is just really cool to me. I mean, the managing, I do need to make another video probably talking about my writing projects because I've added a third project to the mix, which is so bad because I literally have not even finished my other two projects, but isn't that a writer for you? We just constantly have so many things going on in our brain. All of my projects going on right now are all going to be series. Well, except my newest project. I'm not sure if that's going to be a standalone or a series. Regardless, I'm definitely going to be using this series linking feature. I really like this, especially this whole dashboard in the beginning. So say this is your first book there, you can add a book here, book 2, and then you can jump over here and it'll show you total books you have in the series, total words in the, I believe it's by series. It might be by manuscript. No, I think it is by series. So these are like actual series stats, which is really cool. What status the books are on, that's really helpful. I think average word count per book maybe is what that is. I'm not really sure. And then books completed in the series. Then you have the total number in each category there, and then book by book breakdown, which is really nice as well. So this is kind of like just big picture stuff in your series, which is helpful. Hopefully my computer doesn't freaking fry and overheat. So we go back to planning. There's so much you can do with planning as well. So I personally like the visualization feature because I'm a very like move this here type of person, like a, what do you call that? A mind map. And so I personally use this mind map quite often in my writing pieces, but these are just for plotting. These are all plotting elements. So I use this mind map a lot, and I'll show you what it looks like. So you can add a node, which is literally just like a note. So we'll just say chapter 1 here. Say I had a description of chapter 1. We can add another node here. And we can move it wherever. And then say I'm like, ooh, I need to add another little piece to this one. You can add a child node and they're just already connected. We'll just do like 2.5 here just to kind of show you guys that it's just very flexible. The one complaint I do have about this section, I don't know if there's a way to do this and I'm just not seeing it, but I haven't figured out how to like bulk drag things, and that would be really nice. I even try to like, you know, command hit each one so that they're all highlighted and they won't all move at the same time. So that's a little bit of a pain that you can't just like move a bunch of nodes one way or the other. As far as I'm aware of, there might be a easy way to do that I'm not seeing. But that is one kind of gripe I have about this section. Other than that, it's really nice. You can also put pictures in here. Let's look at my writing photos. We'll put something in from Project Fairy Tale. And then you can crop and save, and it's right here. It's in your whole brainstorming section here. So I love this feature. I use it quite often. And then, like I said, there's other features. You can have sticky notes, you know, if you want just more of the notes everywhere. And you can do kind of the same thing. It's just in this section, I don't think you can connect the sticky notes, which I kind of like that in the mind map, that you can connect the pieces. But sticky note, kind of the same thing. You can do a new note or you can do a picture. And then you can do a calendar timeline. I haven't really really looked into this one that much. I'm not at that level of my book yet where I need to worry about a timeline. Like I said, there's a lot of options here for visualization brainstorming. I believe, because it does say browse plugin store, so I believe you can even get more features, which is kind of crazy to me. So outlining, you can do different outline structures for your book. This feature I'm still kind of utilizing too, but like I said, like this just has so much that I just haven't even gotten the chance to utilize most of this yet. So outline, I believe that this is like linking outlines to your chapters. Again, kind of the same thing as before. Settings. This is like a typical character setup. There's a lot of tools here for plotting and for keeping track of your world. I believe that they just did an update too, where say you're writing your novel here and you want to expand one of these to a different window so that you see it on the side as you're writing. And then you go into editing, and the editing has all of these options on the side. Again, I haven't utilized the editing very much because I'm not at that point in my story yet. But you can click one of these and it'll show you all the long paragraphs there, all the repeated words, all the cliches, all the filler phrases. I mean, it's just all right here. And that's just for structure and style. There's word choice things for you to look at. Just a lot of freaking options everywhere. Dialogue. I don't even know what all this is. I mean, eventually I'll know, because eventually I'm going to be at the point where I'm more on the editing page of my book. And then even up here, there's inspect, prose analysis, external edits, revisions. This writing platform has so much to offer. I have not even gotten to experiment with probably a good 50% of it, maybe even more than 50%. I hope to do another video on OpusWriter later when I'm kind of done with the drafting phase and talk more in depthly about how I like this with maybe formatting and editing and all that stuff when I actually get to that point. But as of right now, I am making the executive decision for myself to put my Scrivener aside and just use OpusWriter. And this is not even like, this is not because I got a free trial. This is like, I'm genuinely very surprised by my feelings of OpusWriter. One other gripe I do have about it is word count. It does keep track of your total words at the top. This is like such a like kind of petty little gripe, but it is something that I think that a lot of writers would be passionate about. I wish that there was an option to keep track of the daily word counts a little bit better. The one thing I've noticed is when I X out of the platform and then get back in the next day, it sometimes won't restart my word count right away. So I have to like actually like right click at the bottom of my screen and quit out of the platform before logging back in for it to kind of reset the daily word counts. Another thing that I actually do miss from Scrivener is Scrivener, I used to be able to go into settings and see day to day what my word count was. But right now I am keeping track of my daily word count in Notion still. Not that it doesn't show me my total word count at the top and my day word count, but it doesn't keep track day by day of the word count that I'm getting, which I kind of like to see the progress I'm making. And then this is really getting nitpicky, but one thing I have in Notion is I actually have a graph that shows me my word count day by day. And I know a lot of people use like TrackBear for that and other writing platforms. But if I were to say one thing that I've noticed that this platform is missing, it's a good way to see analytics for your word count. Like I said, that's being really picky about the platform. You can even set goals. Like you can do a daily goal, a weekly goal, or just a project goal. I usually have a project goal and a daily goal myself. You even have these other motivation features like streak tracking. You can track the consecutive days you've written. I've never actually put this feature on, so I wonder if this actually, no, I think it just keeps track of if you've wrote that day or not. Achievement badges for how many words. I need to turn this on my manuscript because I'd like to have like a little motivation to keep going, and daily reminders, goal celebrations. Some of the issues that I ran into when I first downloaded the app have been resolved already. I think that that's really important to say because it sounds like Wesley's really taking people's thoughts and wants of this program into consideration, and he's seeming to modify it quickly and get those patches out really quick. I have been extremely happy with this platform, and I'm so glad that he got a hold of me to give me this opportunity to share it with you guys. Another one of my stipulations for choosing Scrivener myself was the fact that it was a one-time payment. OpusWriter is a one-time payment. No subscription required. On top of that, I have a discount code for you guys. So if you are interested in and purchasing OpusWriter, look at my description below this video and I have a link to the OpusWriter platform and I will have a discount code down there for you guys. Make sure to use that if you are interested in switching over to this platform. I highly recommend it. I have been nothing but happy, and this is coming from someone who has been a Scrivener stan. From day one, I saw Scrivener and I was like, well, it's not perfect, but I'm going to utilize it because it has more options than most other writing platforms out there. This takes the cake. Let me know if you try OpusWriter and if you end up enjoying it, and I hope to see you on one of my next videos. Bye bye.